In the midst of a generation where technological developments make up headlines on a constant basis, interconnectivity is arguably at its all-time peak. Since the wide adoption of the internet as a main channel of communication, the pace of information transport through the cyberspace increases on an exponential rate every day, with relevant news taking but minutes to achieve worldwide recognition and data access becoming seemingly easier to everyone. Indeed, the internet has been a powerful tool towards facilitating communication. However, relying on it also opens doors to the possibility of highly skilled individuals unlawfully accessing and exposing private information online. For most of us, our email account is the place where all valuable information can be found. Passwords, bank accounts, credit card information, home addresses. Basically, they are the heart of our online personas. And for hackers, they are real gold mines. But how likely is it that hackers actually attack my email account? What information do they access there, and what do they use it for? And can we even protect ourselves from it? In order to get a better understanding about all of these aspects, I meet with a number of experts that can better inform us about email attacks and the implications that online disclosure has on our lives. Basically, we want to know, is our online privacy safe?
Nein, definitiv nicht.
I'm not saying we're 100% safe.
No.
So let's get to the bottom of this. My journey begins at the University of Twente. My first step will be to get an overview about the topic, so that's why I'm meeting up with Dan, who will provide me with insights about the different types of hacking and will clarify about how these work.
Hi, I'm Dan Ionita. I'm just wrapping up my PhD in Information Security Risk Management here at the University of Twente. I think email accounts have play a critical role in hacking because most websites provide you the option of recovering your password for your email. So in fact, if you have access to someone's email, you can find out or change the passwords to all of their accounts. So in fact, having access to someone's email likely gives you access to all of their other accounts.
How do you get access to email accounts?
Oh, I think it's not that easy actually. I think it's easier to get access to other accounts than someone's email account. So I think the easiest way to get access to someone's email account is probably, and it's not easy, but relatively, it's social engineering. So either finding out information about him that can allow you to guess his password, or maybe somehow tricking him into giving you your password by maybe pretending you're from a support desk, or that you want to help him with something, or using all kinds of social engineering principles. But I hope most people are quite hesitant towards giving their email password or account to someone else. So I don't think there's any easy way to hack into someone's email, actually.
Is our online privacy safe?
No. Your online privacy is not safe.
Why not?
Because it's online. So the internet is global and more or less public, right? So everyone has access to it. So it becomes a lot harder to secure your information when anyone can try to access it. Right? Anyone on the other side of the planet can try to hack you and you wouldn't even know he's trying or who he is or where he's from. So all of a sudden the protection mechanisms have to be a lot stronger because they have to handle a global scale of hackers and criminals, right? Not only the ones in your neighborhood trying to break into your house, now everyone is trying to break into your email address. That and the internet itself wasn't designed the way it is. It grew. So the internet was designed to be a closed network and it was never envisioned to work on a global scale. So to get it working on a global scale, we had to patch it up a lot and do a lot of improvisations. And right now the internet itself, if I'm honest, is a mess. It's a mess of technologies, a mess of old technologies and new technologies and all kinds of improvements that we took along the way and decisions that we took along the way. So then this created lots of vulnerabilities, right? There's now lots of vectors that hackers can use to mix two different technologies together or exploit older versions of software which haven't been updated, or in general exploit the huge interconnectivity of the internet. The fact that there's so many computers, it's almost impossible not to find one which is vulnerable. If you really care about something, you should not put it online, even in a private place of the internet. The main things people should take care of is using strong passwords, avoiding public Wi-Fi's, definitely, and having a virus scanner on their computer. If you tick these 3 boxes, I think you're reasonably safe, just because hackers will go for the next person who uses the weak password.
Dan's words about the world's interconnectivity and the dangers that this also brings really stuck with me. Instead of protecting your home against the burglars from your neighborhood, you now have to protect yourself against hackers from all around the globe. If what he's saying is true, being reasonably careful with your data disclosure should be enough. Let's see what an actual hacker thinks about that. That's why our next stop is in Bad Bentheim, Germany, where a young hacker has agreed to meet me and answer questions about online data security of emails. And for his own sake, he asked me to remain anonymous. What positions do email accounts have in hacking and how often are they actually used to hack?
Ja, also ich sag mal so, wenn man an den E-Mail-Account kommt, ist man auch automatisch an alle daran gebundenen Accounts herangekommen. Weil ja zum Beispiel ein PayPal-Account über das E-Mail-Konto verifiziert ist und man das Passwort ja auch einfach ändern kann.
And how secure do most people behave online?
Sehr unvorsichtig, wenn man das so aus Erfahrung sagen kann.
And how can your identity be stolen via hacking?
Wenn jemand das E-Mail-Konto gehackt hat, halt im Prinzip alles Mögliche verschicken kann über das E-Mail-Konto, auch Viren und andere PCs infiziert. So verteilen sich teilweise auch Botnetze. Ja, und man selber ist der Wirt von diesem Botnetz oder von dem Virus. Ja, und wenn sowas dann rauskommt und das auf dich zurückfällt und du später vor der Polizei sitzt, ist das echt schwer zu erklären, dass du es nicht warst. Weil ja im Prinzip keiner weiß, wer es wirklich war und alles auf dich, also alle Beweise auf dich fallen. Und so werden dann Leute teilweise wirklich in die Ruinen getrieben, nur weil deren E-Mail-Account gehackt wurde. Also man sollte im Internet generell aufpassen, was man preisgibt oder was man der Öffentlichkeit preisgibt. Und wenn dann die Hacker an E-Mail-Konten kommen, dass man auch viel Identität oder die ganze Identität im Internet dadurch verlieren kann. Und die Identität im Internet ist ja mittlerweile fast das Leben vieler Menschen, sage ich mal so. Es gibt ja Menschen, die posten ihr ganzes Leben und das ist meistens nicht gut, wenn die Öffentlichkeit da rankommt, weil es Leute gibt, die damit eine Menge Scheiße anfangen können.
As I was expecting, the hacker's view on our privacy sounds a little more unsettling for us as users. But not only do we have to be careful, companies are in the line of fire too. Having millions of customer data at their command, firms like banks or online retailers have to ensure that these information are not compromised. So let's talk to someone whose job that is. Today, our journey took me to Amsterdam South, and right now I am in front of the World Trade Center Amsterdam, where I'm meeting up with Fred Stey, who is a risk information officer. And hopefully he can tell me more about how to protect yourself from online hacking and how to ensure the security of your email accounts. So let's go. What position do email accounts actually have in ensuring privacy?
Well, it really depends because I was thinking about what you meant on the email accounts, and only thing what we can do to ensure the highest security is to, when we send information, is to password protect the documents. Make sure we don't put anything in the body, put it in the document, password protect it, and call the customer and give the password in a separate call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anything change in that context of your company, for example, if I access data on the smartphone or on other browsers?
If you look at from a customer side, well, they can probably access their corporate data through smartphones. In our case, when our employees use smartphones, they are encrypted. So there's security measures already deployed on the smartphone, so we know these are safe. The only problem we have is we don't know how safe the customers' smartphones are.
Are the customers aware of the dangers that they encounter?
I think it's also a matter of the generation. I think if you see the older generation is more busy and more aware of privacy and vulnerability on smartphones, and you do hear about it in the news, on television, on radios. And I see that the younger generation is willing to give up more privacy to use apps on their phone. So they are aware, but I think it's not enough. They're not aware enough. I think there needs to be more done towards the customer, which could be through television, through radio, but also throughout from the organization. Say, okay, look, it's a private email account. You can be vulnerable. You could be compromised. We'll try as our best to ensure you don't get compromised or that the data is protected, but it's still their responsibility at the end.
In the end, it all seems to come down to this. Companies can try to protect their customer data as much as possible, but ultimately, we as users cannot rely on it. Growing up with the opportunities that the internet brings us, it seems like our generation simply does not see the risks that it also entails. We can't just pretend to care about our online privacy, but not take any actions ourselves. Remember that your email account is your most valuable possession online. It is the heart of your online identity. With it, you open the lock to your personal and professional information. And in the wrong hands, this can have catastrophic consequences. And you wouldn't let a stranger into your house, so why would you leave the door to your online world wide open?